You have been so brave. You always did everything we asked you to do, and you've been just a model patient. And I'm just so excited that you finished. And we have a little surprise for you. So we're gonna have a, what? No, it's better than candy. We have some visitors that want to come and surprise you because you are just such a special patient to us.
Today we are partnered with Cedars-Sinai, and we have some really special gifts that we are getting ready to deliver today.
Oh. I wonder who this would be.
Hi, Victoria. How are you today? You saying hi to Rampage? He's super friendly.
My Chemo Fairy talks about the journey of one of the fairies becoming ill and going through chemotherapy treatment and getting better, and being able to put that in a book. That's huge, because part of healing and part of their treatment truly is trying to give normalcy to what is already so not normal.
Especially the younger kids, they don't know that cancer's scary. They know that the situation they're in is scary, but as they start to feel better, they just want to play and be normal.
Victoria, I heard that you have been doing such a great job, and in order to celebrate you and to offer you a little gift, I am really, really happy to share that you are the first person here at Cedars-Sinai to receive a My Chemo Fairy doll and book. This is for you. Yeah, so now you have your very own doll and book that can be here on the journey with you.
When Victoria received hers, we read it that day. She read it to me. I held the book, she read it from cover to cover. And just how her eyes lit up seeing, wow, they get me. They get exactly what I went through.
In the magical fairy kingdom, there lived a very special family of fairies. This fairy family was full of love, and they had fun just being together. One day, Brother Fairy was not feeling well, so they took him to the doctor.
Victoria is a very, very special young lady. Her grandma is a wonderful caregiver to her and is raising her and her older sisters to be just delightful young women.
She is the sweetest thing. When I first met her when she was 6 or 7. So spunky, so funny, but also when I got to see her vulnerable side, she is just the sweetest, most thoughtful girl.
The next day, the doctor told Brother Fairy and his family that he had an illness called cancer.
I asked her, do you remember when I came into the room and told you that you were sick the first time? Do you remember us talking about the cancer diagnosis? And she said yes. And we haven't really talked about that since.
It was really scary for her, you know, like for any other child. And it's here in a book that anybody can read. To feel validated like that, I think it's huge for her.
He said it was okay and normal to be scared, but he had a special medicine called chemotherapy that would help him get rid of the cancer.
Joanne, excellent, you know, real caring, loving, and she has a way of making Victoria feel comfortable when she come here for her treatments, and just talking to her and giving her gifts and, you know, making it easy.
To be able to give that support to her where she trusts me, she trusts us when times are hard, when she has to go through a procedure, and just say, I want to hold your hand, Jojo. I'm like, you can have my hand as long as you want.
To be exact, Victoria loved to come here. She loved to come here to see everybody.
This is what we're here for. We were made for this. We are here for you because this was not a choice, but we're gonna make the most of it.
Hi, Zaria. How are you? This is our friend Rampage. Hi. We have some toys for you.
I think that there's an excitement that an organization like the LA Rams can bring to our patients that we just can't bring. I definitely do not make them as excited as they are when they get to see players and mascots and cheerleaders and everyone else, because it lets them know that they're important not just to their family and to their Cedars-Sinai community, but to the greater community, and that they're not alone. And so it's great to have partners that can help provide that.
I can bring that fairy book home.
Yes, you can bring it home and you can read it before bedtime. You can read it whenever you want.
My Chemo Fairy, for us, really validates what we do here at Cedars-Sinai and how we care for our patients. The impact is huge, and that we have now because of our partnership with the LA Rams and the kindness and thoughtfulness of Tremayne. I mean, thank you so much for thinking of our patients here.
I feel like you have to be great wherever your feet are planted. People want to have these kind of ideas, these grand gestures, like I need to help people, I need to do this. I think start where you're at. I always wanted to kind of be like a conduit. There's like anything I can do that can serve any population here. That may include the kids, may include people that are going through inequalities or homelessness. Like if I have the tools, resources to help, it's what I should be doing. To me, it means being an ally to someone who's going through it. It looks insurmountable at first. And to know that mentally you're going through it just as much as you are physically, that someone can do something as small as just like, hey, I'm thinking about you. You know, here's something to make you smile, something to make you laugh. You know, you're serving that person's soul. Support is something now you should see, but you feel, right? You feel in the physical when people are there. You feel in the mental when people give you security that, hey, I got you. Like, you fall, I'm gonna help you up, or whatever it is. It gives you the emotional security that I am loved, I belong somewhere. So support, been blessed to have a lot of it. And I think it's be a blessing to give that kind of support as well.
I was thinking about this, like when was the first time I actually met him? And I met him when he was a 9th grader. And my husband used to do a beef dinner at the house where we would get barbecue and invite the entire offensive line over to our home.
You know, even before I met him, I heard murmurs of Jeff Pastrick, right? You know, like Coach P, he's one mean, green, whatever, you know, like he's a tough guy. And I'm like, oh God, like, sounds awful.
I would be like, well, how many players are going to be there? And he would tell me 10, but order for 20. And the first time I met Tree, it was at that beef dinner.
Meeting him, I thought to myself, like, he's not just being mean, rah, like field general for no reason. Like, he's done it from a genuine place. And I recognized that because I could see that same look, how he looked in the other players. And, you know, over the years, like just kind of trusted and leaned into more what he was saying, and things worked out. When I went to Clemson, he would text me all the time. I'd come back home and breaks and work out with him, try different things he was trying and learning. And he was becoming a pioneer in the industry of offensive line development too. So being able to use that as an edge to come back, and he would text me before every game. I still have his text messages now. For my Clemson games, he texted me before each one, and he texted me at halftime. I wouldn't respond, but I'd just see it and like, like I missed the block. I know I'm gonna get 6 text messages, and I just remember after each one, he would grill me, but then be like, hey, like, I'm proud of you, dude. Like, you're doing it. Even up until the end, man, he was one of my #1 supporters.
My Chemo Fairy started really because we were living it. January of 2019, Jeff was not feeling great. He had an NFL training class in already. So we had 14 guys here that agents had sent, and he ended up with a kidney stone. So he had gotten up one night, gotten sick. We ended up going to a local ER. He had Burkitt's lymphoma, so it's a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, but a large B-cell, extremely aggressive cancer. So when Jeff first got diagnosed, his sister had made these, what she called "you got this" bags for every round of chemo. So Jeff had originally 16 different rounds of chemo. So she would make a bag for every one of those chemo cycles. One day, walking down the staircase after I went and got the bag, I said, hey, it looks like my Chemo Fairy came last night. And it clicked. And I remember texting Steph, and I was like, I think I've got an idea.
Like a fairy, right? You think of a magical entity or person that's coming out to lend assistance or give you a hand or help make your dreams come true. And I think that it's a perfect comparison to what we want to try to be able to emulate and help kind of give the effect of, hey, like, you know, we're not magical, but we're here to help.
When you go through cancer, I cannot tell you how many days, whether that's the patient or the immediate caregiver, is like, I can't do this anymore.
And especially them going through something so tough at such a young age. Let them know that that magic, that fun, that good energy is still there, and you got people that are with you all the way.
If this little magical fairy and the bag that it comes in the story gives the patient and their family some encouragement that they're going to get to the other side, they're going to go into remission, that is the whole premise of this, is just bringing hope and joy into these families that there's not a lot of hope and joy happening.
I didn't know they were.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's so good seeing you.
It is awesome seeing you. It is really good. Really good. One, I love you, right? Know that. And Jeff loves you. And I know he is looking all over every day. You know, you sent me that text on Saturday. And that text said, you know, I wish I could have told him, or I wish I could have shown him. And for you to help us bring my Chemo Fairy, which is Jeff's legacy, one of Jeff's legacies, all the way to LA is, I don't even have words. I don't even have words. And I'm just super grateful. And I know his sister is super grateful, and our family is super grateful. And I know that unintentionally, this is just one of the other things that Tree does, right? And I'm just super, super proud of you. You know, every time I see you and what you're doing in the community, aside from this, that is part of him in you. That's how he lives in you. I am just grateful for your servant, humble leadership. You got this every day. Every day. Don't ever question that.
Jeff, he was a good man. He was tough on you. He supported you through whatever. And he wanted you to take the same mentality you applied in sports and applied in real life. You know, his thing was to keep fighting, to battle every day.
Good morning. Got my little pick line here going in and all kinds of stuff, but it's 5:30 in the morning. You know, I'm out here doing some laps and getting some exercise. Just wondering, man, what the hell you doing? You know, what excuses you got today to stay in bed and not do this and not do that? You need to get your butt up and, you know, make the best of your day.
Prototypically, speaking NFL-wise, like I was a long shot. I was weak, I was slim. I didn't really think too much of myself. I just wanted to come and help out, do my job, but he saw more in me. He believed in me a lot when I didn't believe in myself. He showed me I could always make more of myself if I really, really applied. You know, how far would you really, really go? And he said, whatever makes you passionate, makes you alive, so you should really go after it. And you know, good, bad, or ugly, he's always taking that mindset and coming back to it. So I think that's something in his legacy I want to for sure carry on and try to live through.